For a whole generation, the late 90s and early 2000s were a time of transition. We were living between two worlds, half analog, half digital. Music was still something you held in your hand, phones flipped open with a snap, and hanging out often meant piling into someone's living room, not logging into a video call. Life felt slower, simpler, and strangely more personal. These everyday habits have faded with time, replaced by newer technology and faster conveniences. But deep down, many of us still miss them, the little rituals that gave color to growing up millennial. Today, we're taking a warm look back at 10 forgotten millennial habits we still secretly miss. 1. Burning CDs for every mood. Before playlists lived on a screen, they lived on shiny discs. Burning CDs was an art form. You'd spend hours choosing the right songs, carefully dragging them into order on the family computer, then waiting as the disc spun and clicked. When it was ready, you'd decorate it with Sharpie, sometimes messy, sometimes artistic. A burned CD wasn't just a collection of songs. It was a gift, a love letter, or a memory frozen in music. Maybe you made one for a crush, or maybe you made a road trip mix for summer drives with friends. This ritual flourished in the early 2000s, but once iPods and streaming arrived, it faded almost overnight. Still, the memory of sliding a CD into the car stereo and hearing your own soundtrack begin is hard to beat. 2. Friday night trips to Blockbuster. There was something magical about wandering through the aisles of a video store. Families would stroll row by row, arguing over new releases or old favorites, while kids begged for candy at the checkout. Holding that plastic case in your hands made movie night feel official. And of course, you always promised to rewind before returning. Blockbuster ruled the 1990s and early 2000s, with thousands of stores across America. But Netflix's DVD mail service, and eventually streaming, made late fees and plastic boxes obsolete. While digital convenience won out, nothing can quite replace the excitement of a Friday night trip to Blockbuster, where choosing the movie was half the fun. 3. AIM away messages. In the days before smartphones, AIM America Online Instant Messenger was the heart of teen social life. After school, you'd log on, hear the little door creak open, and suddenly the whole world of friends was at your fingertips. The real fun was in away messages, tiny status updates often filled with cryptic song lyrics, inside jokes, or secret hints to crushes. AIM ruled the late 90s and early 2000s, connecting millions of kids late into the night. It was where friendships deepened, gossip spread, and maybe where a few romances began. But as texting and social media grew, AIM slowly faded until it shut down in 2017. Still, that simple ding of a new message can instantly transport you back to those glowing computer screens in the dark. 4. Burning time on MySpace. Before Instagram feeds and TikTok trends, there was MySpace, the Wild West of social media. Every profile was a personal masterpiece, flashing backgrounds, glitter text, and a favorite song that blasted the moment someone clicked your page. And of course, there was the top 8, a tiny box that could make or break friendships overnight. At its peak in 2006, MySpace was the most visited website in the world. It was chaotic, clunky, and sometimes embarrassing, but it felt alive in a way polished social media doesn't today. As Facebook came along with its cleaner look, people moved on. But looking back, those messy pages were like little digital scrapbooks of who we were trying to become. 5. Taking disposable cameras everywhere. Long before selfies and instant uploads, you had to trust a little cardboard box to capture your memories. Disposable cameras went everywhere: parties, concerts, school trips, summer vacations. You snapped the pictures, hoped for the best, and didn't know what you had until the prints came back from the drugstore. The wait was part of the fun. You'd flip through the glossy stack with friends, laughing at blurry shots, red eyes, and unexpected gems. Disposables were affordable, simple, and everywhere in the 1990s and early 2000s. But as digital cameras and smartphones took over, the habit disappeared. Still, there's something irreplaceable about those imperfect, flash-lit photos that capture moments just as they were. 6. Recording songs off the radio. Before streaming and instant downloads, catching your favorite song meant patience. You'd sit by the stereo with a blank cassette, finger hovering over record, waiting for the DJ to play that track. Sometimes you caught the intro perfectly, sometimes the DJ talked over the first few seconds, but either way, it felt like treasure. Homemade mixtapes were personal and often messy, but they carried pride. Kids in the 80s and 90s passed them around, and many millennials grew up doing the same. By the 2000s, CDs and MP3s replaced cassettes, and the ritual vanished. Yet the memory of waiting by the radio, headphones on, hoping for your song to come on, is something many secretly miss. 7. T9 texting. Before smooth touchscreens, texting was a test of patience and skill. T9 texting meant pressing number keys multiple times to get the right letter, 2 for A, 22 for B, 222 for C. It was clumsy at first, but soon teens became lightning fast, typing entire conversations without even looking down. Flip phones and T9 ruled the early 2000s, making texting the language of a generation. But when full keyboards and smartphones arrived, the old rhythm of clicking buttons disappeared almost overnight. Looking back, there's something strangely satisfying about the tactile rhythm of those clicks and the shorthand language that grew around it. 8. Carrying iPods everywhere. The iPod wasn't just a device, it was freedom. For the first time, thousands of songs could live in your pocket. The click wheel made scrolling through albums and artists feel futuristic, while those white earbuds became a cultural symbol of cool. Every bus ride, every walk to school suddenly had a soundtrack. Launched in 2001, the iPod reshaped how the world listened to music. But once smartphones absorbed its features, the once beloved gadget slowly disappeared from pockets and backpacks. Still, many remember the joy of building the perfect library, syncing it on iTunes, and hearing that satisfying click as you chose just the right song. 9. Printing out directions from MapQuest. Road trips once started not in the car, but at the computer. You'd type in an address, print out several sheets of step-by-step directions, and stack them neatly in the glove box. The passenger often played navigator, flipping pages and calling out, "Turn left in 2.4 miles." If you missed a turn, you had to backtrack or just pull over and ask for directions. MapQuest was a staple of the late 90s and early 2000s, before smartphones and GPS apps took over. Once turn-by-turn navigation arrived on every phone, the printer became unnecessary. But the memory of crumpled sheets of paper on the dashboard feels like a lost part of travel, half adventure, half puzzle. 10. Making friendship bracelets. In schoolyards, at summer camps, or during long car rides, colorful threads became little symbols of love and loyalty. Friendship bracelets were carefully woven, knot by knot, then tied onto a wrist with a promise it wouldn't come off until it fell apart on its own. Each one told a story, some simple, some elaborate, but all meaningful. The habit peaked in the 1990s and early 2000s, especially among kids and teens. As trends shifted, the bracelet making slowly faded away. But even now, just seeing a ball of embroidery thread can bring back memories of sitting cross-legged with friends, trading bracelets like treasures, and sealing bonds with a handmade knot. From Blockbuster runs to burn CDs, from AIM chats to iPods, these little habits remind us of a time when technology felt exciting, personal, and just a little imperfect. They've disappeared, replaced by faster, sleeker tools, but the memories linger, warm and colorful, like snapshots from another lifetime. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more nostalgic stories right here on Heritage USA. And tell us in the comments, which millennial habit do you miss the most?